All right, hey guys. So I normally don't cover like drama. Um, that's just not what I usually do. Um, but I'm covering this specific drama because um this page drama has intrigued me. I have read some of this and I didn't read all of it. Okay, so far I think it's complete. I think so far it's kind of a bit like over exaggerated. I don't think there's a lot of like good arguments here. They're basically just saying, "Oh well, that's wrong," but they're not really explaining how it's wrong. Um, Nor are they using like logic, common sense. I'm not gonna be, and that's not me saying that I'm defending pastry or anything. I'm not. I just think that a lot of the criticism that was held against her in this document is really fucking stupid, and it's just completely unnecessary. Um, let me let me make sure. Hold on. Let me make sure I saw something right, because I could be wrong. But yeah, I said I was gonna go over this a few days ago. But she privated like one of her videos that I said I was gonna cover in a live stream, so that sucks. Um, okay. Alright, just making sure. Alright. So, we're gonna just jump straight into this. Hold on. I'm gonna have coffee in a bit, and I'm gonna see how um I can do commentary without coffee, which is level impossible, but we gotta see. So the way this document is, by the way, just a disclaimer, the way this document is organized is very confusing because I looked at this on my phone and I was like, what the heck? Like, is that it? Is that just it? Is there like another link to doc? No. Apparently there's like little document tabs on the sidebar that I did not see. So not only is this document like horribly organized, it's really unprofessional so far because it's generally like when you're gonna expose a huge content creator, you have to at least organize your document, right? You can't just make a bunch of baseless claims and throw it out there. You know what I mean? Um, Let me make sure. Myself. All right. This is gonna be. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, we gotta go over this because I've seen some. Let me actually look at the reactions. Actually, you know what? I'll look at the comments after this. The cool picture on YouTube before reading. What we're going to talk about in this document may include topics regarding death threats, doxing threats, cheating on a partner, and much more. If anything listed disturbs you, please click off. As someone who used to be an avid pastry defender, cheesecake here, the behaviors she constantly displays are truly disgusting, and she clearly has not learned from her other two blacklists. That's crazy. If you choose to find her after reading this, I have no words for you. The writers of this blacklist were moderators for pastry who were not banned. They first saw all of the private behavior she didn't sugarcoat. But again, I am just reading this with a clear mind. Clear mind. This is all like with a clear mind, okay? I'm just being cautious. Precautious, what's the difference? What am I reading? Okay. There's many things that aren't included either because they have been spoken about and the other blacklists are old or weren't screenshotted, which makes us unable to provide proof. That being said, try not to throw up while reading. Okay, so I'm gonna assume that the things that weren't mentioned, the things that had like a lack of evidence to support its unbiased claim, is not gonna be mentioned in the document at all, which is good. You should not be making unbiased claims without zero evidence to support, because that in itself is slander. That's public slander. Like it doesn't, even if it like okay, like let's say it did happen, right? You have no evidence for that to even be real. Like, I don't know. Okay, so there's been 2 call out blacklists on Pastry. There's this and there's this. Wow. And I fucking hate the text here. It's so stupid. I request you to stop supporting her. She says she's changed, but she really. I feel like saying that in itself is not only kind of like showing the intent of this document, because they mentioned that the all how many people wrote this document? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Okay, all 4 people who were moderators were banned, and they made this document out of retaliation. So I think this document was made with the ill intent of this, because if you, I don't know if these people were aware of the blacklists maybe, but if they were, why did you only wait until after you had your moderation terms revoked to say something? Why step up now? And by the way, mind you, this document was released on the 17th of August, which I did not see. I had been trying to look for like days that I saw on Pastry's community post that there was something going on, but I did not see anything. But you get what I'm trying to say though. Like, if this is very like ill. Like, you can tell this was made with very clear like ill intent, because they're also saying like, oh, you should stop supporting her because this and this and that. It's kind of, and it's like, yeah, like you should say that when you are gonna call someone out, but like you should at least say like, oh well, I can't do anything if you continue to support her, because let me, what the fuck, hold on. This part right here, it kind of suggests enforcement. Like, everybody who reads this has to not support Pastry anymore, or can't defend her. So let's see what that's about. So we're gonna read those blacklisting callouts after we read all these sections. I'll put it on the screen. Let me put it here. All right, so this is Caden's text. Where's text? Yeah, this is like very poorly organized, so I'm working with the best I can here. But this is like, it's really hard to, hold on. My fault, wait. Okay. This is Kaden. Um, Hello, this is Kaden, former admin of Pastries and ex-boyfriend to a current admin there. Oh. What? Yo, we got an ex-boyfriend? Oh, this is crazy. Oh, wait, my fault. I misread it. See, that's the thing, dude. Like, that's the thing, too. Like, this is so poorly, like... and mind you, I don't even like Pastry. Even I don't like Pastry. I used to like her content. I used to like her videos. I used to enjoy her videos. But this shit's crazy. Like, this is so hard to read. Like, why bother mentioning, like, why not just start off with, hey, I used to be an ex-boyfriend to an admin, in Pastry's server. Like, I don't understand what, and I also used to work for Pastry. Like, I used to be moderator. Like, why not just say that? Why not start the sentence off with that? Because we see ex-boyfriend, we think, oh, Pastry's dating someone. Like, what? That would have been crazy, though. Imagine her ex stepped up. Alright, let me read this. While my colleagues did most of the work for this document, I think it's... Hold on. Do you know what colleagues... Do you know what a colleague is? Do you even know what a colleague is? Hold on. Okay. Colleague. Let me pull this up right now. Because there's no way you're being serious. You have no fucking idea what a colleague means. And in what way, shape, or form? Hold on. In what way, shape, or form is moderating for a Discord server and any sort of like way, a profession or a business? How are you getting paid? Are you getting paid? Even then, like, you are not a trained profession at anything, first of all, and you are not in a business. You are simply moderating a Discord server. You people have no fucking idea whatever the fuck it is you're talking about. Like, I literally looked at this. I looked at this document. I was like, holy shit. Pastry's cooked. No, apparently these people are cooked. Because there's no way you think fucking moderating for a Discord server is a profession. Like, what? Professional what? You are not professional at anything. Professionals are trained people who have been through not only just extreme training, but they cannot make a mistake at all. Or else they could get fired. Okay, let's say, for example, surgeon. You cannot make a mistake because if that were to be the case, if you made a mistake around your coworker, boss, colleague, whatever, they are witness to seeing you make that mistake, and you could get fired. Because again, surgeons are trained professionals working at a business, aka a fucking hospital. They know what they're doing. You don't know jack shit. You are like, I hate you people. You people actually piss me off. You people don't even know what the fuck you're saying. Like, this is making me so mad for no reason. Not actually, no, it is for a reason. Because you people are so incoherently, like, brain dead. It's not real. It's not real. You're not real. You're not real. You're just a voice inside my head. I got a fart. Okay. Okay. Well, my colleagues and most work for his dog. I think it's important that I make a mistake. That I make a statement regarding a certain situation. I'm addressing this for multiple reasons. My goal is to not absolve myself of guilt, rather to take responsibility. I will be keeping the name of my ex-partner anonymous, and I will ask that you do not go looking for him or mention me around him for this well-being. Why are you telling? Hold on, let me. Like, why is this necessary to bring up? We were working together for almost 9 months, and throughout that time, I was incredibly controlling, manipulative, and generally abusive. I won't be posting screenshots or going into detail as it's not my place to post private things between us. I would like to make something clear. My actions and choices in my private life should not affect your opinion of this document. Hold on, I'm sorry. Why the fuck does it matter? Why does it matter? Why are you telling? Hello? This is not a confession booth. This is not a sin booth where you just fucking tell over your sins to the pastor. Like, why is this necessary? Why is this necessary to bring up? Who cares? You're like, it's bad that you're abusive, yes. I'm not talking about that though. I'm talking about why are you bringing this up? Even then, why are you trying to say that you're why would you self-report that? Because for all we know, abusive people tend to twist situations because they don't realize how their behavior are affecting others around them. So how can we trust your word? How can we trust your word, Kaden? How? Please enlighten me. How can we trust your word? How can we know you're not the one bullshitting? Like, what? Like, why are you even speaking up about her anyway? Like, who are you? I'm as like a victim of abuse myself. Yeah, as a abuse victim, I myself already don't trust this person because I don't see I'm not gonna take this person's word for word because I don't think it's quite necessary for this person to even talk about pastry in the first place because if you are an abusive person, you have no right to speak up about your experience with another person. You are just as bad as the person that you are talking about. You cause actual psychological pain and tormental abuse onto another human being. And I'm assuming all these are kids. So you literally you psychologically abuse a kid, man. You psychologically abuse a kid. And if this person's not like under 18, that's crazy because you're a grown ass adult canceling like what? How is Pastry 16? That's crazy. It's crazy. I don't like why I don't know why this person wrote their testimony. Like I'm sorry, why the fuck why are you like this is just so random too. Who are you? Why are you just dropping you're just dropping your experience with pastry. Like it's like just then and there. Like what? Like you're not even talking about your experience with pastry. You're just talking about how you used to be abusive. Who fucking cares? We're here for like the exposure of fucking pastry, not like witness testimonies for witness. We're not like witnesses for like real life confession sin booth. Like what the fuck? We're not witness juries. Why are you just randomly telling us that you're what does that have to do with pastry at all? Other than you claiming that she's out there to use that against you. She fucking should. She fucking should. Like what? Pastry may try to claim that although because I've seen I read this before, so that's why I'm saying that. Pastry may try to claim the work we've been collecting evidence showing our experience is void because I was an abusive person. I'm sure after this is released, she'll be blackmailing me to hell and back. As is mentioned later, she already attempted to not long ago. However, there's a difference between Pastry and I. Although my actions were disgusting, I am a nobody who hurts someone and is trying to move on and change. Okay, so I don't think this person realizes, but they just completely downgraded their abusive behavior. It doesn't matter if you're a nobody, or it doesn't matter if you have 10,000 subs or 5 subs or no subs at all. You are still an abuser. Anybody can be abusive. Anybody can do anything bad. Anybody can commit a fucking crime. It doesn't matter. Is this person trying to say that she has like a level of influence? Because yeah, she does. But that doesn't mean that like two of you are different if both of you do something bad. There's no difference. At the end of the day, both of you are both human beings. Are you trying to say that like I'm confused. Are you trying to say that you're not a human or something? Because because like you have no social media followers? I'm so confused. Honestly, if I were Pastry and I had someone who I found out like had like abuse allegations towards them and they're trying to like come at me with allegations, like separate allegations, I would be fucking like vivid, bro. Vivid. What's the word? I keep hearing that word. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, I'm right. Okay. I would be fucking vivid, bro. I would be so pissed off. You don't get it. You really don't. Pastry is a person with a relatively large platform that she abuses. Okay, you have no right to talk about. Again, I'm a victim of abuse. Let me just say this right here, right now. You have no fucking right to talk about um someone abusing anything when you yourself are also abusive. You yourself inflicted pain onto another person. It doesn't matter. I understand. You know, you're trying to get help, trying to get better, move on. But that's that's fuck. I wish I knew how to pronounce this. Hypocrisy. That's hypocritical. Okay, that's hypocritical. That's hypocritical. Because what if Pastry's also trying to change? What if Pastry made mistakes with in the past with her own content? What if she's also trying to change? And no and you and your own no like you have no you think you are in the right for saying that she abuses her platform simply because what she exposed like a pedophile. Like that's the logic that I'm getting here. That's what you're trying to say that she does. And that makes zero fucking sense. That's moron bullshit. Moron bullshit. Like you have no right to call anyone out for abusive behavior, man. You have no right. Especially if you're gonna be sitting here and saying that, you're trying to make amends. What if they're also trying to make amends? Hello? Stupid ass. Even then, that doesn't make it okay. None of them, that doesn't make either one okay. I'm just saying it's stupid to call someone out for something that you yourself already did, and you yourself are actively changing. Like, I don't get it. I really just don't. I don't get why you do that. When I hear I was spite, but rather because I want to protect the people I spent so much time around and grew to love. Even my love ended up hurting a lot of them. The people writing this document are spreading this information for a reason. All I ask is that you don't let my existence silence their experience. Thank you. Is Katie the person who released this document then? I'm so confused. No, that's Charlie. Okay. It's really hard to believe that this isn't made out. It's really hard to believe that none of these people made this document out of spite. Not just Kaden. If it's really hard to believe. It really is. Because you're misusing words. You're misusing terms. Exaggerating everything over the top. Like, that's crazy. The reason why we didn't share what happened between the victim and Kaden is because the victim himself wanted everything to be private. All he wanted was to go their own ways, and that they did. If Pastry does in fact release a blacklist on Kaden, that also means she's going against the victim's privacy wishes. I and the ones who know can acknowledge that Kaden was in fact abusive to the victim. He is trying to change and go his own way, which is what the victim also wanted. That's all I can say. Okay, but if that's what the victims wanted and stuff, that's fine. But you shouldn't be excusing the actions. You shouldn't just completely, what's the word for it? You shouldn't completely just what's the word? You shouldn't completely just ignore that it happened though. It was still a bad thing that happened. Regardless if he's trying to change or not, it's still bad. But I mean, okay, I don't know what the point of bringing I don't know what the point of bringing that up was for. You could have made a post about it on Twitter or something, since it says here Pastry already has your socials. All right, this is 16 pages. Log in, chat. We're cooked. All right, we're gonna speed on through this. Hello, Leah speaking here. This entire section is written by me. Pastry had created a channel to discuss the situation. This could only be viewed by the mod team. Pick one immediately. She compared it to another channel, pick two, that is open to pick three. Why is this bad to me? It was a terrible person who was a grim writer manipulator. Even if Kaden did do horrible stuff, nothing should be compared to the new situation. This isn't that bad, but I still need to point it out. So, this is really confusing. There's a lot of context lacking here. I don't know anything about this fucking situation that happened with this Kaden person. I don't know who they are. I don't know, why are we talking about this? Why are we talking about this? What does this have to do with anything? So apparently this first picture is the only one that can be viewed on our team. And then Pastry, compared to another channel that's an open channel. And then, yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Oh, wait, my fault. Yeah, okay, wait, this is hard to read. Unfortunately, you are going to have to take everything with a grain of salt, what I'm going to say now. Then, okay, if you don't have a lot of evidence, my fault, I forgot to change this. Alright, we're on, I forgot to mention it's my fault. We're on Leah's, testimony. Okay, listen. Alright, this is Leah's testimony, okay, chat? This is Leah's testimony. I forgot to change it. Okay, if you have a lack of evidence to support a claim, you should not be putting it down anyway. That is public slander, whether you want to agree with it or not. That is slander. It's complete slander. You should not be making a unbiased claim with zero evidence. At first, the channel was used normally just to talk and discuss about the situation, but then one day, Pastry wanted to upload Blacklist on Caden. If we can't ruin his real life, we can ruin his online life. She said something along the lines of this. We can some of the mod team were all against that. It was too far. Even the victim didn't want that. So we argued a lot, and she was being very unreasonable. Let me say, however, I do think it was very fucked up of her to go against the victim's wishes. Right? Going against the victim's boundaries and wishes, like, that's fucked up. That is something she should be held accountable for. Saying we were sympathizing with an abuser, there's proof of her saying all the stuff I could find in logs, only a bit, which was in Pig 3, aka telling her she doesn't have the right or position to make this decision. This was the victim's situation, not hers, but she was acting like she had all the control. She was not treating the situation appropriately and saying stuff like, he's an abuser, he will never change. I wrote a rant and I called her out on it. Holy yap. Okay, I see like a little bit of it and I'm getting so pissed off, right? Because, let me read it. Let me rate this out and point out how stupid it is. So you're saying that we shouldn't humanize him or empathize him because he clearly isn't doing that for us, but the thing is he does care for us, even for you, but not anymore because, well, the things you have. Holy fuck, add commas when necessary, bitch. This makes no fucking sense. This is impossible to read. Sorry. My fault. It's like 5 a.m. in the morning right now, so I'm a lot more pissed off than usual. It's just like, holy shit, this is so hard to read. Like, genuinely, though. Not anymore because, well, the things you have said to him isn't what the. Wait. Even for you, but not anymore because, well, the things you have said to him is more than he deserved. Even if he is an abuser, that doesn't give you the right to tell him to la la la. Well, no, I disagree. Hot topic. If an abuser isn't willing to change, even especially if they're physically like abusive, not just like emotionally or like online, no, I think it's pretty reasonable to say this to someone. I think it's pretty reasonable. Leah, you are not, actually, you know what? I'm gonna assume you are not, actually, you know what? Let me say something else later. That's who you said more than one time. Yes, he's an abuser, but does that mean he's not human? No, abusers can change. You're just following with the stereotype that saying, oh, abusers can never change. There are whole people that can't change if they should themselves. While he was still banned, he damned me saying, hey, is Pastry okay? I'm concerned for her because there were no YouTube posts with your behavior. Okay. So many fucking commas and yet no periods. Okay. So, hey, listen, Leah, honey, I am pretty sure you aren't an abuse victim. You're not a victim of abuse, alright? This is just me assuming. Good for Caden that he's changing. I don't think it was okay for Pastry to say that about Caden, especially if he did mention that he wanted to change and, you know, all that. Like, that's good. That's good. That's good for him, man. Good for him. That's good. But I'm pretty sure Pastry's going the extra mile because I don't know, maybe because she's, and I'm assuming, right? Because she's most likely an abuse victim herself. And and also Leah, you're kind of categorizing as old abusers as like these people who can change into being good automatically as soon as they're abusive, which is not true. Like what I'm trying to get here is that like you're trying to say that abusers can change. When yes, they can, but not all of them do. Not all of them do. That doesn't mean there is a stereotype. Most abusers are extremely mentally ill, and because of that, they refuse to get help for their untreated illness, and they take out their anger and issues onto their partner. So, by you saying that entire sentence, that is putting out a harmful ideology against abusers. Don't do that. That's bad. Don't do that. Because this isn't a great example because you're talking about it in a general perspective, and you're basically defending like like the 30% of abusers against the 100% of abusers who actually do change. That's two in five groups of abusers. Think about that. That's literally half then 5. Or no, half then 5 is 3. That's like, you get what I'm saying though? Like it's different. So you're putting out harmful ideology out there. Again, I'm just assuming that you're not an abuse victim, okay? Because very clearly, not very clearly, sorry. Again, this is me assuming. If you are, then I'm sorry that happened to you. But I myself am also an abuse victim, and I'm saying right here, right now, I'm gonna tell you, this is not. You're putting out this really harmful stereotype of all abusers, and it's really, really harmful. Whether that's your intention or not, you give out the false hope of people with whatchamacallit? What's it called? Okay, Stockholm syndrome. You're giving out the idea that victims of abuse with Stockholm syndrome can believe that their abusers can change. When but it's like the victims get into a relationship, they break up, and then they get back into it again, believing that they can change. And no, this cycle keeps repeating on. You're putting out that exact harmful stereotype. You are the one putting out that stereotype. That's not anybody else but you. I'm pretty sure Pastry was driven by probably experience and trauma, which I'm not gonna get into. Doesn't mean that what she said was okay. It's not okay. But yeah, you yourself are putting out actual harmful ideology, because as someone who used to have Stockholm syndrome, it was really, really fucking bad. I kept going, let me tell you something, right? I kept going back to my own abuser, thinking that she would change, thinking everything would be alright, when it didn't. In fact, it hurts. I kept getting help. I kept getting hurt. And not everyone's gonna care about how they treat others. Not everyone's gonna care about changing, because they're just so completely sick with themselves that they don't care about how they're gonna be perceived by others. They don't care about how they're affecting others. So, you don't know anything about abuse. You don't know anything about abuse experiences, nor do you know about victims, because if you did, you wouldn't be spewing all this fucking harmful ideology. That's what I'll fucking tell you. I genuinely don't know how he can. He used and still does DM me asking how you have been. Are you... Oh my gosh, this fucking pronunciation. Okay. Also, this is not your situation to make a huge decision. This is the victim's situation. He gets to say what to do. He was the one who was affected by it majorly, not you or us. So stop trying to make decisions on behalf of him. He clearly doesn't want anything more than for them to go their own ways. He's doing well, and he's spending less time on the internet. He started college. Okay, so he's 18. Okay, so what is an 18-year-old... Hold on. Why? Okay, why? What is going on here? He's having fun and making friends. You don't have the right to ruin that, because he also went through a lot, and mind you, he has mental disorders. He himself told me that he blocked the victim and trying to move on. So everything they're fine is going... So everything is going fine. There's no need for you to post this blacklist. Okay. What does Caden having a mental illness have to do with anything? Is that so because Caden is mentally ill and he showed a gratitude of wanting to change, suddenly that makes everything okay? I'm so confused. He should block the victim. That's what the victim want. Why the fuck did you bring up the fact that he has mental illness? What does that have to do with anything? I'm sorry, what does that have to do with anything? What does that actually have to do with anything? Okay. Looking. Alright. You can understand bits and pieces of the stuff she has said about Caden in the situation. We argued for a bit more about this, and then she muted me, and also muted all the other mods too at this point. There's a screenshot of me complaining / saying slash saying it to one of my friends with the date. Pick one. Makes sense. Makes the whole scene. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Yeah, my bad. Whatever. I'm doing this now. All of you, shut up or I'll mute you. She me for an hour by the way. She had no more arguments left. Holy fuck, you are socially immature. Not emotionally. Socially. You are socially immature. You are fucking insufferable. You are just as insufferable as Pastry. That's what I'll fucking say. You are just as insufferable. Now, why do you have to take this picture with a grain of salt? Why can't I share screenshots of it? Because she deleted the channel after she got called out and had no more arguments left. So you didn't bother to take a screenshot. Pussy. So you're gonna talk shit behind your own friend's back, but you're not gonna bother to take a screenshot of evidence that you went public accusing her for? That is stupid. That's not a smart decision. She stammered a quick pause with no meaning behind it, in my opinion, and left it at that. She usually does this a lot, makes a whole scene of drama, quickly apologizes, and then be done. You know, that's a sign of mental illness, by the way. This. This is a sign of mental illness. This is literally a sign of mental illness. So you're gonna excuse Caden's behavior, but when it comes to mental illness of people who you do not like, suddenly all that just gets washed down the drain? Suddenly all that just goes away? What the fuck? Please explain to me, enlighten me how that makes sense at all. Enlighten me, please. This makes zero sense. Like, I don't get it. She didn't even threaten to mute. What the fuck are you talking about? How fucking delusional do you have to be to over-exaggerate a response that, like, just like that? It seems like she just made a mistake and corrected herself, and then backed away from the situation before she could have made it worse for herself. That doesn't mean she's always in the... I mean, she was in the wrong for, like, going against the victim's wishes. That I do agree with. Like, I agree that she was, harming the victim. I wasn't agreeing with her choice. But I do think it's fucked up that people are showing empathy to Caden when it's really not their place to be. And it feels more like a defense, really, more than anything, just because they're friends. You should always hold your friends accountable for something. I understand being, you know, upset, you know, but kind of like feeling empathy for him is the equivalent to, how do I explain this? It's the equivalent to, like, defending the abuse because, oh, poor you. Oh, like, you abuse someone. Oh, poor you. And it's just like, you should not be caught you should not be coddling the abuser. You shouldn't even be coddling the victim either, but at least, like, why, like, what are you doing? Right? Like, that makes no sense. I think, I'm assuming maybe, Pastry used to be friends with Kaden. I don't know what the fuck the situation's about. I don't care enough about the situation because already there's like there's like nothing about it. No information about it other than just that we know that Kaden was abusive. We have no context. We have literally nothing to this. From chat says, "Oh, move on. She never told me. If it weren't for awesome Leah, I would have thought she was still saying I should blah, blah, blah. She's apologizing to the mod team, not to the people she hurt again." I'm sorry, what? Where's chess mentioned at all at any point throughout this? What do you mean? I would have thought she was apologizing to the mod team. No, she fucking didn't. She pinged the staff twice. She was making a public announcement to the staff. She's taking accountability for her actions. That doesn't mean that she's not apologizing to the she's not apologizing to the victim. She literally just said, I should have respected. No, she said, I would like to apologize for crashing out and being really toxic. And then she says, I should have respected blah blah blah's choices and not lash out in anger. She literally apologized. What the fuck are you talking about? Now, onto another topic. I was also Pastry's girlfriend. Yes, wow, shocking. Now, this is more like a personal grudge, but it's like worth mentioning. Yeah, so if this is a personal grudge, why the fuck should I really at all take this seriously? Because you're making it seem like this. I see the cheating, but I saw that she flirted with someone in the relationship, which I don't know much more. I don't know that much about. I'm not gonna say that it was like romantic or not because I haven't read what's her face Pastry's response yet. What I will say though is that by you making a statement on here, by writing a personal grudge and all of that, it's really hard to take this seriously. It's really hard to take this seriously. On 29th of May, 2025, I confessed to Pastry. Everything was going pretty well until she started her fan dub. The stars align. When the stars align? She didn't really talk too much about that after I brought it up. We talked about it and she made everything clear, but she kept ignoring me after the fan dub. Are you stupid? Like on purpose? No offense, sorry. That shit takes time. That doesn't mean that she's ignoring you. The time is being made through. She's she's making something important. Like what? If you're gonna be busy writing something or drawing something or whatever, and you know it's gonna be a big project, obviously you're not gonna be talking to your partner. You're not gonna be talking to your partner that much. Why? Because your partner isn't your top priority when you're making something that important. They're not in your mind. You want to be focused. You want to work. What the fuck? Yes, call me selfish or jealous, whatever you want. I'm gonna call you stupid. Sorry. Sorry. I'm trying hard not to not to be mean. I'm trying really hard not to be mean, but it's just like, holy shit. How stupid can you be? It's nauseating. Yes, what else? I quite literally talked to my friends and then I talked to her, but that's not the main issue. Why are you bringing this up? What does you talking with your friends have to do with you being Pastry's girlfriend? For context, I'm not in the fandom server. All this time she's making jokes on cheating on me in the server. Oh, I didn't see this. That's kind of fucked up. And even in one, she mentioned us as a poly couple with a random stranger I've never spoken to before, and I'm strictly mono. Let me also just say, I feel like I understand kind of wanting space and time away from your partner because that wouldn't mean that you're ignoring them. It's just you want time away from them. You uphold other like, oh, how do I say, oh, like, you just have other stuff, like, going on right now. And maybe, like, your partner probably isn't, like, the first thing that you're thinking of because you have other important stuff to be doing on. I can relate to that, but this is making, you know, jokes about your girlfriend, cheating on your girlfriend and stuff, suggesting like a poly relationship with a random stranger. It's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie, that is fucked up. You shouldn't make cheating jokes when you're not talking with your girlfriend. That's really fucked up. And I feel like I made that clear before. This is picture one. Pastry X Leah. I support two. Pastry X Sophia X Leah. Two? Better now? No. That's kind of crazy. Picture one. Although I've never said I'm not okay with cheating jokes, I have also never said I'm okay. I have also never said that I'm okay with them. I have huge dislike towards cheating slash cheaters, as my father had cheated my mom, and Pastry knows that too. What does that have to do with anything? Like, what? I'm sorry that happened? I'm sorry that happened, but just because your dad cheating on your mom doesn't mean that you don't not have to like cheaters or cheating on other people. What is the influence? I can actually no, I can kind of see it now. Cause I mean, I in a way, kind of yeah. Like you don't want to follow behind your dad's footsteps, but at the same time, it just doesn't. That logic just doesn't make any sense because you're not really explaining why. My dislike towards cheating in the situation with my parents, and yet she went ahead and made those jokes. Well, I'm not saying she full on cheated on me. I feel like she was emotionally cheating on me. Oh my gosh, you people just be misusing everything. You literally just said, okay, let me tell you. Hey, baby, hey, listen, lock in, listen, listen. You just said that you're not claiming that she's cheating on you, but you went ahead and just said she's emotionally cheating on you, which is just as severe as fully on cheating on someone, because that's another way of cheating. And also, let me search up what the frick emotion she means. Emotional cheating occurs when someone in a committed relationship forms a deep emotional connection with someone outside the relationship, potentially jeopardizing the primary relationship. But you can't just say that she formed this emotional connection with this person when you don't even know the relationship that she has with the Sophia person. You don't know who she is. You know nothing about her. Who are you to say that she formed a connection with her? Like, what? Dude, I thought I was supposed to be in this document, like, actually agreeing with everything. But now I'm just criticizing both parties because this shit is just so stupid, it's laughable. Even if there's a J in some of them, that doesn't make it okay. This can be provided below. That's true. It doesn't make it okay, but you know, at the same time, you gotta communicate with your partner. Wait, if Sophia and Momo are genuinely dating, I should probably stop. Maybe you should stop because you're actually dating Mia. Yeah, for real, you're right. No sane couple would actually talk like this. Pastry ex Sophia's fanon. For a good reason. What do you mean I can't cheat on Leah size, Jay? I'll stay with Leah. Cancel. Fire Jay. Or I cheat on Leah with Fuyu? Makes out. Seal X Mel, Pastry X Sophia, Sophia X Momo, Kira X Fuyu, Seal X Kira. No. That's crazy. I'm demo Pastry voted for Pastry X Sophia. Pastry X Sophia is better. What about... How the fuck do you pronounce that? But I love Sophia Doomdeary. Love triangle shit. Doesn't Sophia love me too? Platonically. Okay, that is really fucking weird. That is really weird. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Yeah, I do see a problem with this. That is very weird. It's a constant jokes. Guys, I love my vase. We're cheating on her girlfriend. Yeah, with you. What? Go to bed, my fourth GF. That's crazy. I'm gonna eat now. Okay. Wait. I'm going to go eat now. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, I should stop flirting with Fuyu before I catch a case of blood. Why is... Oh my gosh, hold on. I forgot, guys, I'm trying to hurry this stream up. Wait, hold on, guys. Let me... Wait, my fault. Wait, fuck. My fault. You didn't see that, you didn't see that, you didn't see that, you didn't see that. Okay, we're back. My fault. My thing keeps glitching. That's crazy. I had a random stranger who I never talked to defend me. Sophia Purina's, thank you for that. And the thing I would like to point out is that during the months of March to mid-May, I was heard discording as a joke. It was a joke, definitely, but during that times we used to have very sexual conversations in chat. While she had a girlfriend, I was not aware of that until May. I'm sorry, who? Oh, wait, so... Okay, this is kind of confusing. So, does Leah mean, like... Come on. Okay, so it was 20th of May when they dated. Okay, so before May, Pastry had another girlfriend who, who both her, yeah, so Pastry had a girlfriend, but then I think I think that's when Leah and Pastry both had like sexual conversations in the chat, and she wasn't aware of that, but then she continued going with the jokes. That's what I'm getting at here. But I thought it was okay because Shirley Patrick's girlfriend was okay with this, right? Otherwise, she wouldn't be making these jokes, right? But again, I do apologize for continuing. Okay, that's hypocritical. Literally everything that this fucking Leah person says is so fucking hypocritical. It makes me so pissed off. It's not even funny. This stupid fucking logic. Like, what? What? I'm genuinely so confused. You're the one sitting here complaining about Pastry making chain jokes about you and her. Yet you're gonna go excuse jokes you made, like sexual jokes you made with Pastry, knowing she was in a relationship but kept on going. Like, you yourself are not a good person, and again, you are just as bad as Pastry. I'll say it once, I'll say it twice, I'll say it again. You are just as bad as Pastry. You are just as bad as Pastry. Fucking hypocrite, man. It pisses me off. Another thing she does regularly is apologizing to anyone but the victims. If you've the previous doc, you'll see that she called a rape victim slimy a slimy whore. What? Everybody's so creative. She claims she didn't know they were a victim, yet when I talked to the person, Dazaichu, they said that multiple of their friends have said to Pastry that they were a victim. She still hasn't apologized to Dazaichu, yet she apologized to her Discord server. Let me just say, right, I'm not gonna comment on that person's experience, but what I will say, as a victim of, someone who was also sexually assaulted, like, as a victim who was also sexually assaulted, let me just say, I wouldn't necessarily say that. I think it all depends on each victim's boundaries, right? But I don't think that when you're being called those words, it's because it like no like nobody's calling you like a whore or anything else like that because you are a victim of SA. It's like I've seen people like call people I've seen people like use the word whore to replace for bitch. But it would have literally nothing to do with like their sexual assault experience. But if someone is like, yeah, please don't call me that, then like I think you should be respecting that, and taking it back and apologizing, saying you didn't know and move on. But that is fucked up. Or that let me see this. They said that most of their friends have said to Pastry that they were a victim. Okay, wait, I said this today. I won't tell, don't worry about it. Despite not making the blacklist, I absolutely still have my grievances with her. She's been pretty apparent to me before any of that happened. I could probably get you guys in contact with the group who made the document. They have a server that they're all in. To you, do you mind explaining? Basically, I pointed out to her on Twitter, to some of my friends, for the making some pretty questionable statements about the Israel-Palestine conflict. It's not a conflict, it's a fucking genocide, by the way. Asking why they were following her. I had no idea she was famous at the time. I thought she was a random odd person that my friends had added. Turns out one of the mutuals I mentioned was a super big fan of her. They tagged her and responded by repeatedly calling me a slimy, narcissistic, attention-seeking slut and a whore. Even after all the people told her I was a victim of rape, she continued to call me those things and never directly apologized to me for it. So yeah, I really don't like her myself. Oh, that's fucked up. Okay, yeah, so it seems like in that situation with Pastry, again, I'm not defending her at all. I wasn't. I don't think I ever was. I was just what I said earlier. That was just in a general perspective. Like that's how I see it. as an essay victim myself. That's just how I personally see it. But the fact that she kept on going with those insults is really crazy, and I think it was within ill intent because they were a victim of SA. Love her fans on YouTube urged her to apologize to me, but she never ended up doing it. She just brushed off in Discord announcement and never spoke to me again. Oh yes, I remember seeing the ping. She was a silly ping for that, but she was an announcement ping for saying if we discuss about the blacklist or anything related to it, we get banned. Also, very sorry you had to be called out by her. I to myself, wait, she says unforgivable, and the fact she hasn't apologized seems outrageous. Yeah, that's fucked up. Plus, in a ping, she said she didn't know you were raping him yet. She continued calling that. Thank you for your time. I got permission to share our conversation. Hello, I don't mean to disturb, would you mind if I share this convo in a dog? I don't mind, go ahead. But I really think that you should have screenshots if you're gonna make such a claim like this. Because that is a really messed up claim. Like, I mean, like, we have, like, Leah being, like, a witness to this. But then again, I don't know if we can really trust Leah's words because as I've read over this document, Leah has a tendency to over-exaggerate a lot. A lot. So it's really hard to take her testimony seriously because she doesn't get to the point, and it's difficult to read and to understand what the actual issue is until she says it like 4 paragraphs later. But yeah, we need screenshots for this, please. Thank you. That is fucked up though, I just want to say that. Alright. I have many thoughts about Pastry. First of all, she says that she's like Kane blames stuff on his BPD a lot, which is funny because she blames a lot of stuff on her autism and blames the fact she's neurodivergent. Even while I was bringing up there, she had to bring up the fact that she's neurodivergent. Me too, babe. You need someone that's neurotypical and text you back 24/7. Sorry, I wasn't good enough for you. No, this isn't about finding someone neurotypical, and I don't need someone texting 24/7, but you barely even responded after some point, and when you did, you were extremely dry too. This isn't about you being neurodivergent, as you can see. Another thing she did that takes me off is using certain words like womp womp while telling someone they should blah. Really, she's being immature. Another point is that she barely moderated her own server. Ever since I joined the mod team, Pastry was barely there during situations. And even during situations, she butted in and said that the action we've taken wasn't right and what the member did wasn't bannable. Though what the member did was against our rules, and we had recently made an announcement about that too. And she butted in and made the situation complicated. You don't have to repeat the fucking sentence. Sorry. Me and Kaden worked out with her and me and Kaden worked it out with her in DMs. Kaden was like the owner, in my opinion. He did everything. He was the best moderator. He was the best mod if I say so myself. The end of my section. Watch out Pastry's future girlfriends. Oh, watch out Pastry's future girlfriends. Oh my gosh, it's also 16 pages. This is all cheesecake writing. Okay, hopefully this is better than Leah's testimony because holy shit. My mouth is dry. I'll be talking about why I was banned, what Pastry said about Kaden behind his back, and what she said to me. To any server members, no, I did not leave for personal reasons. Ahmad tried to cover my ban. Kaden and Chess should be... Oh, that's crazy. At the time of writing this, I was only recently banned, maybe a month ago at most. Wanna know why? For leaking in the mod chat. Now, I know this seems like a perfectly good reason for demotion. But not only was I banned for this, I also had a reason why I did this. For anything, yes, there's many private channels and pastries for the moderators. The channel most of the time Well, oh, the channel most of this takes place in the moderator chat. Now, as someone who worked as a moderator for months, this wasn't a moderator chat. It was not a place for moderators to talk. It was not a place for moderator about moderating. It was a place, perfect place for a Pastry to shit talk band members and the people she didn't like. Probably screenshots also take place in the lead channel we saw earlier, the Caden situation. Mod stuff. Mod logs, spam logs, moderator chat, mod archives. Mod only, confession review, confession log, and boy oh boy, Pastry sure to like shit talking people, especially Caden. But before I get into the big issue, Pastry then doxed me. For no reason at all. Just to make a blacklist on another server. Not only this, but she also had a few other mods gang up on me for simply wanting to respect my own privacy. We need more clarification on this, man. We need more context to the situation on what happened, man. What do you mean she what did she do to you? Because you wanted your own privacy to be respected. Like, what happened? What do you mean? She also muted me for 24 hours because I was panicking and needed to calm down while she was going to leak my state. She used the mod chat to shit talk me a little bit while I was muted. She continued to belittle me after I turned to her DMs since I was panicking. Doxing. Even though you can't dox someone based off a time zone alone. Why is the date censored? It can only narrow down to a state, and millions of people live there. The address has the only fucking impact. Guys who are overreacting and have a dumbass panic attack. Get off the internet. Please calm down. Do not unmute her. So they found out to say, what happens now? If you can't share any personal information like that, then they can't do much besides some empty threats. What's happening here? What do you mean they found? Who found out your state, dude? Okay, we need more context. What are you talking about? By the way, I don't know what other document they I think Leah was referring to. But this was like the only document that was published. That was like the first ever official call out. So I don't know what that's about, but that's some complete bullshit. Moving on to my next point, the death threats. As of writing this section, the context of what happened with info. Okay, I didn't read that. I value internet safety law. Pastry does not. So why could she just not respect my wish? Not just respect my wishes. This does not seem tone deaf, and I don't know about you, but dumbass panic attack made me sick. Moving on to my main point, the death threats. As of writing this section, the context of what happened with Caden and the admin has not been attached, but it will be soon. And assuming you are the reader are aware of context, I'll continue. Everything I say, Caden is already aware of. Caden was trying to contact the victim at this time. Okay, so going against the victim's wishes. And so is making all accounts to join Pastries. Bad thing. Also, the victim had created an old account posing as a mere member of the server. You know that old account still had mod perms because the victim is a mod. I had no idea that Caden was unaware of this. First of all, nobody told me or said it in a mod channels anywhere I could find. I can't pick up context clues very well. L on my part. Actually, I think you've done like a way better job than Leah. You've actually been explaining a lot more context. Instead of just like, oh well, she said, he said, and getting to the point, like after explaining, like you just get straight to the point is what I'm trying to say. Like, this is actually kind of good. I can't pick up context clues very well on my part. And not knowing this, I friended Caden's new account that he had made as his new main account because he's my friend. At the end of the day, he did horrible things, but he's still my friend. I still care about the victim's well-being. I don't know. I feel like that's tone deaf, no? Because you're befriending the abuser and the victim as well. You don't care about the victim. By befriending their abuser. I don't know. That's just why I think. I'm not speaking up for them, but like that's just how it feels. I'm glad that the victim wants him to get better and stuff, but like I feel like it would take a long time for an abuser to have a friend or to keep friends, you know what I mean? Um and what I mean by that is like how do I explain? I don't know. It's just you know what I mean. Sorry, I'm like half talking. But he's still my friend, and I still care about the victim's well-being. Now, having Kane friended, I wanted him to know what was being said about him in the moderator chat because it was truly disgusting. These are in order. It is not mental illness. He's an asshole and a bad person. Y'all know what he did to blank. I know it's not his BPD. BPD amplified his behaviors. Honestly, blank just needs to rip the band-aid off and let me tell him why he was banned. He is blocked everywhere, and Caden is unable to do anything to blank. Blank knows. There is no risk or fear. That's dangerous for blank. It's dangerous for blank. If Caden does anything, it'll make him look worse. And the thing is, if Caden leaves, the thing is, if blank leaves, then Caden will. Womp womp, to be honest. If his life is so horrible. Damn! That's not. His views and deserves consequences. He's still human. I feel like they're only saying that he's human because Caden is like being accepting to change, which is good. Um, but I feel like the argument that like, oh well, an abuser is still human. Like, yeah, but then your argument is equivalent to oh, like your argument is equivalent to people saying that predators are humans or rapists are humans. Like, no, they're not. And mind you, they're all under the same category of being abuser. Same thing with uh abusers. Abusers aren't human. It's a good thing that he's working on himself, but he's not a human. What he did was fucked up, and it's unforgivable. At least for me, in my case. I'm not siding with Pastry or anything that um she said. I'm just saying, right? I'm glad that he's taking steps to change and stuff. Issue is that it's different if they're they're not willing to change. You know what I mean? They're just like they're weird. You know what I mean? Um, I don't agree with the death threats though. Um, what was I gonna say? I meant like I think when I said that it was unforgivable, I mean like abuse in general isn't forgivable. If that's like up to the victim to forgive them, like that's cool, that's fine. That's like their choice. Um, but I'm just saying in general though, like it's it's pretty hard for the rest of society to forgive an abuser. So I'm the bad guy. You can't. No, I'm not saying you're bad. Even if a grown man was abusing minor for months. Oh, okay. So what is this about? What is this about? Can we get more context on this? Is it because like Caden's like 18 and maybe the victim's like 17 or something? Cause that's like a I don't know. That would be I don't know. Yeah, sure he's guilt tripping, but just assuming he won't do it because but assuming he won't do it could be seriously dangerous because he does have mental disorder. Maybe this is my paranoia speaking, but I wouldn't like to just ignore all he's saying even though it's manipulation. BPD is real. Yes, BPD is real, but it's irrelevant here. Like he is an abuser. Is it really? Because you've been trying to say it was real. You've been trying to say it's sorry. You've been trying to say it's been irrelevant this entire time. So why are you switching up? But I should apologize for saying that about Caden. Two wrongs don't make a right. I'm just saying it because it's manipulation somewhat. You can't go around telling Caden to honestly. Caden's all and if he should be banned. I mean, I won't say it to him directly. Then why did you apologize? That's crazy. What was the point in apologizing? Well, what? Then that retracts your entire apology. It is, but he's also suffering. Comes full circle. What does that mean? The Mew situation, and now, oh, the Caden situation. Why are we comparing? Because Caden was involved. Sorry. Her saying I apologize for saying Caden should means nothing. She apologized for her mod team, not the person she's directly hurt. Slapping Jen onto a shitty apology doesn't make it any better. Fair. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I agree. There was a very short apology, and she didn't apologize to. She didn't apologize to Kaden directly, and she still said that she was gonna say it about him either way, which is fucked up. By sending him these screenshots, I had accidentally revealed the victim was still in the server. I wasn't aware that it meant to be hidden. Yes, it's a terrible thing for me to do. But can you blame me? What? I hate you people. Oh, I am so sorry, guys. I just realized this is not Leah. This is, Chess. I forgot to put this. I'm so sorry, chat. That's on me. That's on me. That's on me. I forgot to change it because I'm out of the screen, so I'm not looking. Okay. I wasn't aware that it was meant to be hidden. But either way, it's common sense, no? If you are aware that the victim is inside the server and you know the abuser is in the server, why would you reveal to the abuser that the victim is still there? you're putting them at risk. You're putting their safety and their lives at risk. So yes, I can blame you. Why are you trying to defend yourself like it's simply nothing? When you are putting the victim at more harm than you intend. Like, it's still bad. What the fuck? Can you blame me? Yes, I fucking can. An old friend of mine was getting treated as a subhuman for a condition he cannot control. Okay, I don't know what the fuck him having... I don't know what him having BPD has to do with anything with him being an abuser. But it has nothing to do with anything. It has nothing to do with being an abuser. And honestly, by you speaking up about that stereotype puts people with BPD at that risk of being stereotyped and harmed in that way, because now you're trying to excuse that everyone who is an abuser somehow, just randomly somehow has BPD, which really can hurt and affect the entire BPD community. So what are you trying to say here? Huh. I am genuinely so fucking confused about where you're trying to go with this. Like, you can control whether or not if you're abusive or not. And whether you like it or not, most mental illnesses can be controlled. You cannot... Are you trying to say that he can't, like, excuse his actions because of his condition? Because it's something he can't control? Because that's also just harmful. Like, you can control most mental illnesses if you are properly medicated and you have the proper therapy and you have the proper, like, tools and necessities to help you. What the fuck are you talking about? After this, word had gone out that someone in the mod team had told Kaden, if I really liked being a moderator for Pastry, I would have stayed quiet when offline. But I typed for a bit, then stopped typing, and paid for it a few times so someone called me out for it, blah blah blah. I admitted I had done it. And this is where Pastry harassed me. This feels so unironic. You are a terrible person, I hate you, F off. Even Blink is telling you to wait. I want to hear. Pastry, let her explain, wait. That's crazy. I don't support selfish fucks. After my explanation, which is basically everything you just read. I don't know. I feel like this is taken heavily out of context because I understand it's something that we just read, but I don't know if it's alternated to fit something. Like, we don't know. I feel like they're I feel like it's unnecessary to crop out the screenshot about where you're trying to expose someone. But you will be banned because you don't deserve to be here. You have lots of trust with everyone. They all hate you. Yo, that's crit. Holy shit. Fun. And yes, I made a small mistake when trying to do the right thing, but can I really be blamed? Yes, you can! You literally just said you were in the wrong and you apologized. Why are you avoiding taking responsibility? Apologizing comes with being responsible. What does this have to do with you revealing that the victim is inside the server? What is this? What is this hold on. What is this part? Hold on. What does this part have to do with anything? About anything. This has nothing to do with anything. What does this have to do with with you endangering the victim? By her own logic, her being neurodivergent and a minor doesn't excuse this behavior. Me and Caden had done bad, but she had done worse. Nothing we had done warrants for a good old blah 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 from her. After we had both been her best moderators for months, not to mention Pastry barely even moderated her own server, but we already knew that. She also called a 2-year age gap grooming, compared to someone who didn't. Well, it depends. 18, 16, I personally think is grooming. I think it does matter. On I think it does matter depending on what you're talking about. Like, I think it does matter. Like, cause I don't know. Like I think to your age gaps, I'm not gonna get full into the discourse. What I will say, however, is that it does depend at the end of the day. It does depend, because I feel like to your age gaps when you're both minors is kind of like kind of weird. Depending on the severity. But if it's an adult with another adult, then like who give a fuck, right? Like a 20-year-old with a 22-year-old, who cares? That's fine. But like, I don't know. Like, any less than that age range after 18, it's just kind of, I don't know. It feels weird. Compare it to someone who didn't even hurt the victim, but did and cares about him, to someone who purposely hurt the victim among several members. Make it make sense. So I'm confused. You just admitted that you're still friends with Caden, but you admitted that he purposefully hurt the victim, but you just said that because of his mental illness that he can't control, apparently that excuses everything. Which side are you on? You make it make sense. You're not even making this shit. You're not making any of this make sense. None of this makes sense at all. First of all, feel free to skip. Oh yeah, okay. To finish this section, I want to say thank you for saying to reading this. It really means a lot to me that someone wants had DM'd me after I was banned, apologizing on Pastry's behalf. It would have been nice if I got a direct apology from her, but unfortunately she had blocked me after sending me a death threat. She never once apologized to me. She's not growing until I received a full apology from her. The situation is not closed. I have been directly affected by her words, considering I've thought of her as reliable, since she essentially saved me and many others from Miyu. Oh, Miyu! Oh, I get it now. Oh, okay. So all 4 of her moderators, I'm assuming, were victims of Miyu. And she compared the Miyu situation with the Caden situation. That's kind of crazy. That's actually kind of crazy. Her apologies in her server for what she said to me doesn't mean anything because she can and will do it again to someone new. If she was really sad, she wouldn't have a third blacklist on her. I think it's also good to mention that 2 days before I banned, I had dealt with the raid. Although other moderators helped, it was mostly me banning the raiders. These raiders were people who Pastry had wanted to dox me over. Once again, thank you for staying here reading this. I hope you can view Pastry. Sorry that I keep like switching between the pronunciation. I see. I don't know. It's just ignore it. For who she really is and has been now. Until she directly apologizes to me and or Kaden and or Leah, an apology she will be a whole person in my eyes and hopefully yours too. Yeah, she is. Yeah. Yeah. If Pastry or a Pastry defender's reading this, I still want my apology after being sent a death threat. Love you, reader. Yours truly, Chess. Yeah. So we got Charlie. This is 4 pages. After this, we're gonna read her response, by the way. Hi, this is Charlie writing for the most of it. For a little context on me, I'm a trans lyric writer, mod, a committee member, and a voice actor for Pastry's first fan-dub, the coolest guy. I'm not / wasn't on Pastry's mod team in her main server. Quick disclaimer, I nor anyone else who worked on this document is making fun of reporting on anyone who is innocent, venting, etc. Their struggles are fully valid and please DM one of us if you would like your rent taken out. And I think mine will be quite brief because most of the cool psychiatrama that I was actually part of already has a blacklist. I'm just pointing out some of the things that these aren't new. She's done like things like this in TCS as well. Whatever the hell that stands for. First, I'm gonna address what I've seen as negligence regarding her voice actor / staff's mental state. This is from a mod who left shortly after as Raina Save returned. She did DM a mod about the Bible spoke publicly. What? Okay, I'm sorry. Negligence how? Negligence how? Are these people being paid to voice act? Are they being paid to partake in this or no? Were these vents unwarranted? Were these like I'm confused. She doesn't have to coddle these people. That's not her situation. That's not something she necessarily has to deal with. Because like what the fuck do you want her to do? Like I don't like Pastry, but again, like what do you want her to do? She can't do anything about it. Like why are they venting in the about this in the first place when this is something they voluntarily agreed to? She doesn't have to talk with everyone who vents. Like then you could basically in your own technical logic you could be technically saying that she is neglecting her whole server. She's neglecting everyone who is venting in her server, which makes zero sense because it's not her responsibility to look out for these people. These people can leave if they want to. These people, like, she's like they can leave if they want to. Like, negligence how? Negligence how? What do you mean? I lose the interest more and more. The more I think, the more I realize I have nothing here. I might not do anything for this dub. I just feel fucking useless all the time. Nobody would even notice if I left the cast. It's like more, I don't know. I feel like this is attention seeking. And but I'm not trying to call the event itself like attention seeking. I just feel like why are you being decisive of whether or not if you're useless or not? Why are you being decisive? Who cares? Sorry. As you can see, these people have shown that they aren't doing enough. What would any normal do? They would reassure them in the same channel to show Venter and other people they care. It could be in DMs though. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the server where you can see. Because that's quite frankly, what they discuss in private is none of your business. Voice actors have been leaving and nothing has been publicly said. There's some other problematic things Pastry has said. I thought only... Oh. I mean, okay, I can see how this is problematic, and I'm not defending her, but she herself is autistic. So, I think she only recognizes that these are common problems in um in other groups of people who are autistic, because these are common problems within the autism community. So I can understand this, but I don't think it's I think regarding the I think addressing the context, it's not really as problematic as you think it is. Maybe insensitive, but like I don't think because she's saying right here, I thought. She's not saying, oh, only autistic people struggle with things like that. She's literally just stating, like, oh, I thought this was that. It's. I'm not even trying to defend her. Like, this is just. You accidentally which gender voice actor to Loki slime yourself. I keep calling the trans man voice actor she by accident because the character they voice. Yeah, okay, I can see how this is bad. Because, like, why are you making an announcement about this? That's kind of fucked up. It feels like, they're mocking situation. The screenshot to me is especially bad. This has already been happening before in a cool set guy. During the community meeting, Pastry and another person said that trans meant, oh, this is very harmful to spread. And now, to see Pastry joking about maturing her voice actors, it's sad and shows she hasn't changed. I don't know. I can kind of see how it's joking. That's my very small input. Nothing too heavy, but this fan dub is already off on a bad foot. Alright, we're at the conclusion. To conclude, we advise you to stop supporting Pastry on all platforms. She cannot handle a large platform. Her behavior hurts many, and it's odd to see how many people choose to encourage her after knowing this. Thank you for reading this blacklist and possibly following our advice. To any moderators for Pastry, this goes for you too. Stay safe and please don't do anything to yourself because of what Pastry says. Alright guys, you guys already know. I just said basically every thought that came to my mind. So you already know what I mean. But let me go. Let's go look at Pastry's response. And after this, I think I'm gonna end stream. And then look at her posts. And then look at the other posts. Oh wow, okay. That's a lot of pages. So, you know what, guys? Actually, I'm just gonna be ending this here and address her response in part 2 because I'm not reading all that. I'm not. Alright, I think that's it. Bye guys. Okay, my thing is being weird, so I'm just gonna end it normally. Goodbye guys.